What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1989 movie Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. So, in this movie, Jason stalks a bunch of high school graduates on a ship that is going to New York City. So, how he gets on this ship is somehow he's able to take this boat that a couple was at when they were at Camp Crystal Lake and take it to the ship and everything, and I guess he swims onto and climbs on the ship through the anchor and stuff. And a really awesome scene. I love the shot of him holding onto the anchor when the ship's getting ready to leave and stuff. It really, one of the few good, really great scenes in this movie. But yeah, this movie is just mediocre, kind of like the last one. I feel like it's not quite as bad as some people say it is. I know most people say it's the bottom of the barrel for them, and I can completely understand why, though, because it really, not only is the title misleading, the movie itself just isn't super great. But the title especially, though, it really is misleading that it has the title Jason Takes Manhattan when it should be called Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan and everything, because the first 2/3 of the movie are set on this ship and everything. It could have been so much better. That being said, I do have a lot of nostalgia for this movie because I saw it for the first time as a kid, and as a kid I absolutely loved it and had a blast with it. But rewatching it as an adult, every time I rewatch it, I think I like it a little bit less and everything. Unlike with The New Blood, which yesterday I said I like a little bit more every time I watch it. It's starting to grow on me. This one is it's just not one of my favorites and everything. I can completely get why people say it's the worst in the franchise for sure. But the kills just are not very great in here. There's only one kill that really stands out in this movie, and that's when the guy is boxing, or the boxer and stuff is like punching Jason, and he punches him over and over again and starts to lose his breath and stuff, and he tells him to take his best shot, and Jason punches his head off. That scene is awesome. Easily the best kill in the movie. But I also like the scene when he chokes a girl out in the disco and everything, although it wasn't really anything special. I thought that scene was kind of cool too, I guess. And the guitar kill was okay. And the scene where he used those heat rocks or whatever and puts it through the guy's stomach, it would have been a lot cooler if the MPA didn't mess with this movie as well. Like I said, they messed with a lot of movies back then, and it really showed. And this one still tried to use the creativity and stuff like in 6, but it's not as good and everything. The kills just were not as good in this movie, and the characters in this are just some of the most annoying characters in the franchise. Rennie, who's the final girl, has this weird connection to Jason because she supposedly saw him in the lake as a kid, and he tried to drown her or something, and she has that weird connection, and she has all these hallucinations where she's seeing Jason as floating in the water outside the window of her ship, or has hallucinations of him in her room on the ship, and it's really, really dumb and stuff, and doesn't make any sense. And there's times when he's looking in the window and stuff, he looks like a regular boy, and there's one time he looks like a Chinese boy that looks like from or something like a Chinese or a Japanese boy. It's really weird. And then you see him in her room and stuff, and he looks like what Jason's supposed to look like, except the makeup effects are absolutely horrible in this movie, and not just as the kid Jason, but as adult Jason too. This is the worst looking Jason out of all of the movies in this franchise. He just looks absolutely horrible. He looks like like a combination of a Ninja Turtle and I don't know what else, but it looks bad. Looks like maybe a Ninja Turtle on crack. But now I never understood, like, at the end of the movie when they're in the sewer and stuff, why he turns back into a little boy when they get the acid going all over him and stuff. That part never made any sense to me either. And his death scene when he's crying mama and stuff like that, it's really a weak ending. And if this would have been the last movie in the franchise, it would have been a terrible ending for the franchise. Luckily it isn't the last. But I think this was an okay movie, but it's not super great. And it's also crazy we get Ken Kirzinger in here. He has like a small appearance as this cook and stuff that confronts Jason and stuff, and that was kind of weird, seeing that he would later go on to play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason, but which I'll talk more about that when I get to that one. But I thought that was a cool little cameo. I never noticed it till tonight. Everyone had told me about it, but I never paid attention, I guess. But it just, I didn't care for this movie very much. It could have been so much better. Could be a lot worse, though. There are other movies and other franchises that are way worse than this, like Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation or Seed of Chucky. Heck, this movie even has at least a couple that I think are worse than this, so it's not the worst in the franchise for me, but it's definitely not one of the best, and it is one of my least favorites nowadays. It was one of my favorites as a kid, but I think that was just because as a kid I enjoyed stuff that wasn't as good back then, because I also liked Seed of Chucky a lot as a kid too. So and there are some fun moments and stuff, like when Jason takes his mask off to the thugs and stuff in New York. I thought that was a really funny scene and everything. It kind of didn't feel like it fit into the franchise very well, but I thought it was hilarious and everything. It didn't really seem like something Jason would have done, but it was funny. But yeah, so I'd say I'd give Jason Takes Manhattan a 7 out of 10. It's watchable and stuff, and I can rewatch it if I'm watching the franchise, but it's not one of the ones that if I'm wanting to just watch a Jason movie, this is definitely not one that I would go to. It has its fun moments and stuff, but it's pretty forgettable and stuff. Like, most of the time I forget how people die in this movie because the kills are just not very memorable, and the characters are really unlikable and stuff, and none of them really stand out aside from Jason and stuff and everything. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.